Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good day. Our topic for today is topic 3, and from the textbook, the chapter is entitled Sustainability, Social and Ethical Dimensions. So there are quite a number of ethical issues that organizations typically face, and one of those issues is about sustainability. Okay, so today we will dedicate the lecture all about the issue of sustainability. Okay, by the end of the chapter, you should be able to relate sustainability to ethical decision making and social responsibility. You should be able to examine global environmental issues related to the atmosphere, water and land, review environmental legislation related to sustainability, compare renewable energy sources that provide alternatives for sustainability, evaluate business responses to sustainability related to green marketing and greenwashing, provide strategic directions for implementation of sustainability. So even before we go on to the details, first we need to look at what we mean by sustainability. Okay, so different people, different organizations, different stakeholders may look at sustainability at different angles. Okay, but by using the lens of this textbook, which looks at sustainability, looks at business ethics from the stakeholders' view, we will have a certain way of looking at sustainability. Okay, so sustainability, one way of looking at it is the potential for the long-term well-being of the natural environment. Okay, so that is one part. Okay, so how well are we expecting the natural environment to be sustained, to be healthy? Okay, so that's the first aspect of sustainability, the potential of the long-term well-being of the natural environment. Okay, how will the natural environment be protected? Okay, be healthy, will be sustained well. Okay, but it is also includes all biological entities. So when we talk about natural environment, it's not only the forests, not only the oceans, but it includes all biological entities. So in fact, here we as human beings, we are also biological entities. And the animals are biological entities. So when we talk about sustainability, it's not only sustaining the forests and oceans, but it's also sustaining human life. It's also sustaining the animals. So it includes all biological entities, and as well as mutually beneficial interaction among nature and individuals. Okay, so sustainability is also about the interaction between the nature and individuals, and how that interaction becomes something that is beneficial for both or all of the parties within that interaction. So when nature and individuals, they interact, how much is that giving mutual benefit to both of them and not sacrificing one over the other? So that is also what is meant by sustainability, and not only between the nature and the individuals, but it also includes the nature and the organizations, nature and the business strategies. So all of these, how do these the individuals, organizations and business strategies interact with the nature and gives mutual benefit for all of these parties. So that is what is meant by sustainability. Okay, so this is the approach that we'll be looking at when we talk about sustainability. And sustainable development. Okay, so we well, in economic terms, okay, we talk about people talk about development, but then when we relate this to sustainability, then there comes the concept of sustainable development that is sustainable. So sustain, although the word sustain itself may mean to continue, to proceed, or to remain for a long time. So sustainable development not only looks at how development can be consistent, but it is there is more to it, okay, in sustainable development. So the definition that we're looking at sustainable development is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Okay, so that is one part. Okay, so when we do things today in order to satisfy our needs, we should do it in a manner that does not compromise the need of the future people. Okay, so that is sustainable development. So what is unsustainable development then is, okay, so something that is not sustainable, a development is not sustainable if it gives benefit for the current generation, but at the expense of the future generation. Okay, to give a more concrete example, okay, so including in the development, we need transportation. Okay, we need transportation, and with transportation we need to use petroleum, for example. So when we dig up petroleum from the sea, from the ocean, we dig up petroleum from the land, that is used for current development, okay, for transportation, for all those things. But then when we use them too much, the petroleum resources too much, there will come a time when all the petroleum will be totally depleted, such that it will halt the development at that particular time. So right now we are reaping all the benefit out of petroleum for our development, but probably in 2 generations or 3 generations, when all of the petroleum has depleted, then those generations, those future generations, will no longer be able to develop. So that is against sustainable development. So sustainable development is about developing for our need, okay, meeting our own needs without sacrificing, compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Okay, so that's one angle of looking at sustainable development. But then the second aspect to it is there is an emphasis on the natural environment. So not only we are looking at meeting the needs of the present as well as the future generation of human beings, but we are also focusing on the natural environment. So the natural environment has its own needs. So not only do we want to meet the needs of the human beings present as well as the future, but we want to also look at the needs of the natural environment present as well as the future. So there is a strong emphasis on the natural environment when we talk about sustainable development. Okay, so that is generally what we mean by sustainability and sustainable development. Okay, so sustainability is a very big issue in business ethics. Okay, so we will look at now how sustainability relates to ethical decision making and social responsibility. Okay, sustainability falls into social responsibility domain of maximizing positive and minimizing negative impacts of on stakeholders. Okay, so social responsibility is a big domain within business ethics. Okay, and part of social responsibility of an organization is regards to sustainability. Okay, and we know what sustainability is from the previous slides, and it is about maximizing positive and minimizing negative impacts on stakeholders. So an organization's sustainability process is with the objective of maximizing positive impact on stakeholders and at the same time minimizing negative impacts on stakeholders. Okay, so that's you can say the objective of sustainability practices that organizations undertake. So sustainability relates to ethical decision making. Ethical awareness is the ability to perceive an issue or dilemma involving principles, values, and appropriate behavior. Well, that's a general definition of ethical awareness. So when organizations have ethical awareness, among other things, it is about sustainability. Okay, so ethical awareness, particularly regarding sustainability, is about the ability of the organization to perceive a sustainability issue or sustainability dilemma by involving principles, values, and appropriate behavior. Business decisions about sustainability will be assessed as right or wrong by stakeholders. Okay, so when organizations make decision making with regards to sustainability, it will be definitely assessed by the various stakeholders whether the organization is making a right ethical decision or a wrong ethical decisions. Okay, a company with a sustainability agenda or a corporate social responsibility report can create long-term favorable stakeholder responses. Okay, so sustainability is a very big issue, and if companies highlight how they address sustainability issues in particularly their reports, okay, in their annual reports, which also includes their corporate social responsibility report, by highlighting their efforts towards maintaining sustainability, it can create long-term favorable stakeholder responses, meaning that stakeholders will react. The stakeholders will react in a positive way towards an organization when an organization highlights its effort on sustainability issues. Sustainability, social responsibility, and ethics should not be used interchangeably. So even though they are very, very strongly linked together, but they are not exactly the same thing. Okay, so sustainability, as been defined before, social responsibility is something that is bigger, and sustainability is a part of social responsibility. Okay, so these things are not exactly interchangeable, but if an organization is having very good sustainability practices, it reflects on their social responsibility, and it is an ethical stance that a good ethical stance that they have. Socially responsible activities can create competitive advantage. Okay, we'll look at that further down in this lecture. Both positive and negative information about products and organization is more available. Okay, so at the current moment, with the advent of information technology, with social media, Okay, so any positive or even negative information about products and organization is easily available among the stakeholders. So the stakeholders are can easily be more critical of an organization, particularly regarding their sustainability practices. Therefore, the market is very very responsive, okay, very elastic regarding any, especially negative information about company or its products. If they have issues, they have problems with sustainability. Organizations can use their products and brand identity to create social value, quality, and consumer loyalty. So if organizations use their products and brand and show that their products and brand supports sustainability goals, then it will create social value, quality, and it will improve customer loyalty towards the organization. So companies use their sustainable and social responsible decisions to differentiate their firms and promote their brand, their products. So in a way, sustainability or sustainability practice can be used by organization as a strategic way of putting their firm in the eyes of the customers, especially. Okay, so not to say to use sustainability as a weapon, okay, but it goes hand in hand. So while pursuing sustainable objective, the company is also making a strategic action that will help its organization's acceptance among the stakeholders in the long run. Okay, so like I've mentioned before, sustainability is one of the things, one of the issues within social responsibility. So an organization will be socially responsible in these major issues such as social issues, employee well-being, legal responsibilities, sustainability, philanthropy, consumer protection, and corporate governance. Okay, and today we'll be focusing at sustainability. Okay, so yeah, okay, so these concerns, okay, when there's an ethical issue that crops up in front of an organization, then when they are aware of such issue, what is this particular issue concerning about? Is it about social issues? Is it about employee well-being? Is it about sustainability? And then organizations will need to make decisions on that particular issue. What is the action that they need to do? Okay, and what the action is doing, what the action that they take will be up to stakeholders evaluation, will be presented to stakeholders for stakeholders to evaluate.